I can use the same probiotics that we're using to improve growth also are quite antimicrobial against salmonella.
Thank you for joining us today for another episode of the Poultry Nutrition Blackbelt Podcast. I'm joined again today by Dr. Anne Amalaradjou, and of course, I'm your host again, Kelly Walmsley, and we're just continuing our conversation from the previous episode where we're talking about adding these probiotics, some strains that you've been working on, Marianne, right, from a food safety standpoint that came into kind of incidentally, you're finding out that embryos were getting bigger. And so then taking it into the next steps into a grow out with these birds. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. So we saw that they were bigger, and then no matter what you do with the embryos, at the end of the day, it depends on what you can get in market age birds. So yes, we took it all the way through to a grow out study.
With science-led solutions that are sustainable, proven, and effective, BASF helps you tackle the challenges of poultry nutrition. We offer high-quality feed ingredients that enable a more sustainable production and help you achieve your animal performance targets. We call it the science of sustainable feed that succeeds.
You've done some research that's been presented. Some of your students have been presenting some of the research where you've grown out the birds further, right? And you've been seeing still some the efficacy that lasts in the bird. So yes. I guess, can you kind of summarize that a little bit? Give us a little sneak peek. And then maybe in another episode, we could cover that in a little more detail too. But kind of give us a brief little overview of what you're looking into now.
Sure. So, so the embryos are bigger. Looks like you have bigger breast muscle in the embryos, and then they're hatching fine. They're good quality, but none of that matters until you look at market age, right? Yep. You look at that. So we did grow out the birds. So one thing we did, we also did similar work with pullets.
Okay.
So initially we started working with pullets. We wanted to see, I am supplementing probiotics to the developing embryos. Do I also have to give them in feed to figure out what is the best mix and match? And we figured out that it's good to supplement to the developing embryos and also add it to the feed. That's when you get the best effect.
Right.
So that's what we did with the broilers. So once they hatched, we run the post-hatch study where they were given the same probiotics in feed. And then again, we measured all the performance indicators, FCR, RT, ready to eat, and heart carcass weight, and all of those measurements. And obviously, yes, we measured the breast muscle, bone-in and boneless, and we saw that the breast muscle was bigger in case of mass and also surface area.
Oh, very cool.
It was, so what we saw initially with the embryo seemed to translate also post-hatch.
Oh, that's neat. And so for next steps, kind of looking at consumer acceptability and, that sort of thing. And then maybe also pre-harvest and post-harvest food safety.
Yes. So we did do some with the, once we'd done the post-hatch trial, grow trial, we also looked at meat quality parameters,
mm-hmm.
right? And we saw that didn't affect any of the meat quality parameters. There was no negative effect. We looked at color, we looked at lipid oxidation, we looked at cooking loss, moisture loss, and all of that. So we didn't see a significant impact of probiotic supplementation on meat quality. So at this time, what we are trying to do is figure out what are these probiotics doing, right? What are they doing? Why is the muscle becoming bigger? So we have tried to do a lot of muscle structure analysis using histology. So we're trying to figure out what's happening. And I'm learning a lot. I'm not a poultry person to say. So what we have figured out is starting from the embryo, it's improving muscle development. So it's improving the recruitment of more muscle fibers. So if you have more muscle fibers pre-hatch, then post-hatch, you increase the chance for their growth.
Right.
that is what it's kind of doing. That's what we've figured out, which I'm hoping my student will get a chance to present this year at PSA. And then
Those abstract deadlines, man.
yes, well, they extended it to today, but
Yeah.
yeah. So at this time, we're trying to look at the molecular level, what is going on, and initial data shows that the probiotics are modulating gene expression, myogenic genes that are required for muscle development, and also we're starting to look at satellite cells to study how the post-hatch growth is happening.
Wow. Oh, that's really exciting stuff. That's fascinating. And I just love going back to how you kind of started on it. You're just looking at from a food safety aspect, let's try to control salmonella. And now you're into breast muscle capacity and grow out trials and all these different things.
Yes. And I'm still doing food safety because I'm a food safety person at heart.
Sure.
So,
Sure.
we are using the same approach to control salmonella in hatching eggs, during transport, during chick transport, and in the grow out. So we're kind of trying to, so that you can, one stone, two birds kind of thing. Yeah, I know. Fun and unintended, but yeah.
Or intended.
That's what we're trying to do, to see, I can use the same probiotics that we're using to improve growth also are quite antimicrobial against salmonella.
Yeah.
So, you can use the same approach, you can use the same strains, and you can improve production and food safety. So,
yeah, that's cool. I mean, and that's working together with a lot of different disciplines, and that's where we can all benefit, right? Of just reaching out across kind of the field, or, even in a completely unrelated field, sometimes those are the best collaborations.
That is true. And I have to say, I've gotten a lot of support from Aviagen and Highline with my projects.
Well, I mean, I can see definitely why, some of those companies would definitely, primary breeder companies especially. I mean, me being more of a broiler person, but just, thinking from the breast muscle myopathies. And then obviously, I mean, that's what, especially going in these heavier birds, you're going for breast yield. And so, when you're going into those areas, then the concern is always the myopathies and then the efficiency of the bird. And so, I mean, it's really fascinating that you're able to come up with this, project where these different combination of probiotics, where I think you had said, I mean, one, you can be improving hatch, then through the supplementation and the feed throughout, then you can potentially improve nutrient utilization too, right?
Yeah, so that's what we are seeing. So another student is right now trying to figure out what's happening with nutrient utilization. Yeah,
very cool. Yeah. That's awesome. And then you're taking it into the step with the processing and then consumer acceptability, and then now going back and then looking at it at the birds from more on a molecular level. And so that's a wide range. I mean, sometimes I'm doing a various types of experiments and, trying to wrap my head around different ones that different students are doing too. But I mean, at least all yours are kind of in a related field, but at the same time, that covers a vast area of molecular genetics into food safety, into nutrition and processing.
Yes, and the only reason I'm able to do it because I've got great collaborators. Otherwise,
Right. Yeah. No, that's so cool. And that is so true. I mean, that's the best work comes out of that sort of those collaborations. So
that is very true.
Kemen calls all poultry experts. You already know the key to a profitable operation is healthy, productive birds. Our team of poultry experts are driven by curiosity to develop science-backed ingredients and solutions that help you maintain feed and water quality, improve intestinal health, optimize nutrition, and eliminate pathogens. Learn more today by diving in at kemen.com/poultry to learn more.
Marianne, thank you for your time today. I really appreciate chatting again. And since we didn't do this in the second episode, I want you to tell me. So since it is a Black Belt podcast, who would you pick, Jackie Chan or Chuck Norris?
Jackie Chan.
Awesome. Well, we'll leave it with that. And thank you guys for joining us with another episode of the Poultry Nutrition Blackbelt Podcast. I'm Kelly Walmsley, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, Kelly.
Bye.
Hey everyone, we're always searching for the latest and greatest research to share each week. And if you have a poultry nutrition related research trial and would like to come on the show and talk about it and share it with us, feel free to email the research link, the paper where we can find it, or the abstract to hello@wisenetics.com. That's hello@wisenetics.com. And I look forward to hearing from you.